Bonjour, bonjour. All right, I do apologize. All right, all right. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Everybody. I'm sorry, we had a huge storm last evening, or actually all day yesterday, and the power went out. So we had to re-upload everything. We didn't know that the power went out here. So I was like, oh my goodness. But anyways, we're here. Hello, everybody. I hope that you're doing well. Thank you so very much for joining. Bienvenue, c'est mon chien. J'espère que tu vas bien, bien sûr. Je suis la reine de Dieu. I am the Hoodoo Queen, and this is your full week ahead outlook. Before we get into all of those things, I must please ask you to please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, leave a sweet kind comment below, hit your notification and postification buttons, and please share the video. So, yeah. So we are here this morning, this afternoon, excuse me, really getting this ball rolling, essentially here. And before I get into those things, I do just want to remind everybody that I am providing, there's two things actually. Ooh, yikes. I'm going to announce something tomorrow. A lot of you have been waiting on the virtual classes, the pre-recorded classes, and you've been very patient, been very kind. The editing is taking a lot longer than what we expected. And of course, there was some personal things that happened, and then the conjure fad, and the things just keep building up and adding up and adding up and adding up. However, because I'm also at the point where I'm just like, okay, I have to, you all need your classes. I am going to provide a live boot camp of all the courses in May. So every Tuesday in May, I will be doing the master class for the Hoodoo Tarot de la Nive, which is available now for purchase. Okay. Which is available now for purchase. If you came to the Conjure Fed virtually or in-house, you have a coupon. The virtual Coven and Spellcast podcast, you will get a coupon tomorrow. But I'm also now going to provide the Conjure South Hoodoo Institute boot camp, where I will go through Candle 101, Graveyard Working 101, what is Hoodoo, ancestral reverence communication and acknowledgement, and then the bone readings. So I will be going through all of those things. Now, here's the gag. If you've already purchased these particular classes, you will have a link to join me live. You were going to get it pre-recorded, which means you were going to get the information, you was going to have the knowledge, but you would not have been able to ask in-person questions or questions on site in real time. Now you're going to have the ability to do so. So it's not even a situation where you're going to be trying to figure this out on your own, or, okay, I think I understand. Now, if there are any questions, you will have the ability to do that. And I will send you those individual links for those individual classes. Tomorrow, there will be a link in the description box for the full month boot camp for anyone who wants to be a part of the Hoodoo or the Conjure South Hoodoo Institute. Or even if you don't, but you just want the very basics of Hoodoo and understand the culture of it, you will have the ability to do this particular boot camp. All right. The whole month of May. In June, we is open enrollment for the up and coming year. This gives us the ability to continue to work on the edits for the videos, the updated videos, but also where you don't have to wait any longer. Because I understand you're like, I done made this purchase, I done put this out here, and I really want this class. Well, now you're going to get better than that. Okay. So should we get the classes or will we be on that list? No. If you've already purchased your prerequisites and you have not received the links, you are going to be sent the links for the classes you have already purchased. So see, for example, Karen, you've purchased Ancestral Reverence 101. The night or the day that I do that class, you will get that link to join me live that day to do that class. Okay. So there's that. Now, the other thing is, here's the other part. No. So anyways, there's that. So I just wanted to make that to bring that up to everybody, just because I know that time is getting close, and a lot of you like, I really want to be a part of the institute, but I haven't got my prerequisites. But this way too, you will take the classes with me the whole month of May. Again, if you've already done your prerequisites, if you've already purchased them, excuse me, and you have not received them, you will get those links for those days. If you have not purchased one of the prerequisites and you're interested in becoming a part of the Conjure South Hoodoo Institute, I will have a link tomorrow that gives you the ability to take all the classes with me over the whole month of May. Okay? No. So you don't get the full boot camp. You get the classes that you have purchased. You get the classes you have purchased. Okay? Alrighty. So there's that. I needed to bring that up. But also, if you've already joined the institute and all of those things, and you have your sets, or your sets are coming in. So this is another big thing. The Hoodoo Tarot de la Livre will be going out this week. Tomorrow is the last day that we'll be getting these in the mail. Next week, I will not be available. So we will send nothing next week, but the following week we'll begin shipping again. So if you don't get your items next week, you will have them the following, because I'll be out of town. Okay. So you said, Queen, I've purchased 4 classes. Should I go purchase the rest? There's only one more. So you would need to purchase that class if that's the one. And that would be probably the bone reading, I believe. That would be that one class. So there's Ancestral 101, Candle Magic Lamp Workings 101, Graveyard Workings 101, What is Hoodoo, and Bone Throwing 101. I'm gonna tell you guys, I am not one to play with people's time, your hard-earned money. But I also understand that you all are so gracious and so kind and so understanding that I'm like, okay, I get stressed out about these things because I'm like, they gotta get this stuff. And so I'm like, well, what can I do to speed that process up? Put the weight on me. Put the weight on me. I'm just going to thug it out in the month of May. I will have no voice in the month of June. I probably won't record music until August or September because it's going to take about that long before my voice gets back to 100 after all of the talking, the classes, and all of those things. So there's that. But today we are here. The reason we are doing an actual yes, this is the first time that I've said it since the first Conjure Fit. I'm gonna take 2 weeks off, but I'm not taking 2 weeks off. I'm only taking 1 week. Um and I actually have already started working on next year's Conjure Fit. I've already solidified one of the presenters. Um and working out details with them when I get back in town after my little outing. So, oh yes, yes, DG, you got it. Yes, it should be yellow. I'm sorry if the PDF, if I did not update the candle, that it should have said green candle, yellow candle, for Papa Loco, green candle, white candle for Papa Nabala and Aizo. I do apologize. Thank you so very much, Impressive Magic. I greatly appreciate it. Um, so there's that. But because I will not be super duper present next week, because I have to be honest, I don't see me just not being present. It's just not in my. I'm just not built that way. So nothing is so urgent it can't wait a week. Thank you so very much, Impressive Magic. Um, Bonjour Tristan, bonjour, comment ça va? J'espère que tu vas bien. Black Hound Witch is here, one of my fellow French witches in France. I can't wait to go live with them. There's so much truth that they and I have discussed, and that is so like solid. I can't wait to go live with Tristan for that reason. Also, I'm tired just watching all of the knowledge you provide us. Thank you, Raynell. Um, yes, you should still light the candles and all of those things. Absolutely. And tonight's service will be for replay. It will be for replay. So if you miss it tonight, you will have a unlisted private link that you can go and watch it later. So just keeping that in mind for everybody. So no worries there. I also wanted to communicate something else that I forgot actually. Yeah. Speaking of, do we need different cups for the water and coffees? Yes. Yes. Because you're serving 2 different spaces. So one for Papa Nabalawedo, one for one black, one sweet for the Rada, and then one black and one sweet for Papa Loco. Alrighty, so at this moment, we are going to begin our look ahead. All right, and this is just going to cover the whole week for next week. Oh, I remember now the point that I wanted to make. I made the reel and the short today about when to work with gods and goddesses. And as I mentioned in the reel, well, you don't work with them, they may or may not bless you. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because it had a very kind, sweet, precious individual reach out to me yesterday asking about, well, how do I honor this Orisha Olowa for this particular thing? And they attended the Conjure Fete. And I wasn't shocked or surprised because, as I mentioned at the Conjure Fete, when it comes to giving you all new food, a new taste, it becomes addictive. It's like literally giving a child a piece of candy. And the moment you get the sugar and the sweetness, it's like, oh my goodness, give me another one, give me another one, give me another one. And so that becomes where your mind goes. Everyone understand this. Please understand this. This is why I'm so hesitant about speaking about the Loa, the Orisha, and these spaces, because it becomes your first line of defense. Well, let me go put these offerings out. First and foremost, you've been blessed without them. You can continue to be blessed without you. You've been protected without them. You can continue to be protected without them. Okay? Number one. Number two, when your first mind thought says, give it to the divine, it's above me now, there's no difference in saying, give it to God, he'll handle it. Won't he do it? We're beyond that when you go back to your traditional space, and especially in ancestral magic and ancestral traditions. My grandma told me very young, and I mentioned this before, how dare you pray to somebody you don't know? So if you just have been introduced to the Loa or the Orisha on this level, you still don't know them. You still don't know them. You have not built a relationship with them. So what you do is you begin to honor and acknowledge them. You begin to honor and acknowledge them. When you begin to honor and acknowledge them on their sacred days, sacred numbers, spaces of sacred spaces, you will then see, okay, they are blessing me in this way. I see these blessings when I go and I'm honoring them in this way. Okay, so this is a very clear, this is a Loa oriented blessing. This is an Orisha oriented protection. This is a Hecate oriented um blessing. This is a the green man's or the goddess moon's oriented cleansing or whatever, consecration, whatever you want to call it. But you don't know that. You can't expect any blessings when you don't know if they're going to bless you and how they're going to bless you. It's a relationship you have to build. But beyond that, understand this. You can, and this is something y'all need to understand, and this is something very important. You choose. Most people choose the religions and the gods and goddesses that they devote themselves to and commit themselves to. You can be called, but most people choose to devote or choose to commit. But to be called, you have a responsibility. That goes into initiation. So you can choose these spaces. But understand this, if you were not brought up in these spaces at birth, if this is not part of your culture at birth, I would not assume that a God, no matter if it's Jesus, Sky Daddy, Orisha, Loa, Hecate, um, any other Asian gods, Indian gods, East Indian gods, native indigenous deities, do not think that they, because they exist and because you have the knowledge to acknowledge them, because you have the knowledge to acknowledge them, that they are going to, in fact, bless you. Even if you provide the appropriate things, they may not bless you. I have been at a society fete in Voodoo where we have spent thousands collectively, where the Loa rejected everything with a Haitian royal priest facilitating it. So this is why I always try to um, be very clear about these things. I understand it's fascinating. I understand that you, in your Christian Abrahamic upbringing, would give a God more power than the blessings you've already provided yourself. That's the thing about being a conjurer. You don't have to wait and hope when you know I can do this and this will work. All of that, Petter, is on the PDF that I sent you. Ooh, we now see that would cause me to go lay down real quick. But I just wanted to just be very open and clear about that. I have no issue giving you all the information and connecting you to the proper spaces even. I have no issue with that at all. But you cannot dismiss the ashe running through your body just for an afternoon wig snatch. Every Nigerian of Yoruba blood is not a devotee of the Orisha and does not find themselves in the space of the Orisha. Some are Christian. So even those that are brought up in a culture, and yes, even if it was colonized, they know and they are very aware. Okay. But you have to be you need to take my dog class, Candice. Um just be anyways, the point is just because you know what to do don't mean that you should. And what I find interesting too is like most people immediately was like, well, how can I really become involved with the Orisha after the fact? And and felt, okay, I can have these things happen with the Orisha. I also gave you guys what maybe 10 different um folk spirits with names and how to work with them as well. You know, so these are these things that I talk about that you really have to again, why does the Orisha, the Loa, and these religions um, call to us so easily? It's because there is still something within us or you that are very much connected to that fellowship of Christianity, and it feels normal. It's comfortable, like pagans with gods and or Catholics with saints, collecting them as Pokemon cards. What you say? And not even just that, Tristan, but also ATRs. I see where people are collecting ATRs like they are collecting, um, like you said, Pokemon cards. Voodoo, Ifa, Lukumi, Santeria, 21 divisions, Candomblé, Kimbanda, all of these things. Baby, you haven't been called. You have chosen to do all of these things to exploit to your benefit, to mislead thee and our community. So, but anyways, I know that we do not have long now because I know that we do not have long now because of my rant, I guess, if you will. Oh, I need to call them back. That's a very important phone call. Did they leave a voice message? No. So I'm going to go ahead and try to lay this out and try to get this done in 7 minutes. Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept. So right now we are in our I think we're still in our Aries space. So our fire signs. Fire signs, where are you? Fire signs, are you present? For the week ahead, fire signs, we get the Jack of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts, the Seven of Spades, and the Le Diable Rouge. Okay? So we get le queue de le fond, le femme, les 3X, and le Diable Rouge for the week. What this is communicating, fire signs, are we are going to be introduced to new environments, new people, new relationships. Allow these new relationships, new environments to mature as we are introduced to them. Do not make quick judgment based off of your initial meeting. We then see that our heart will be fulfilled. So the things that we are looking for emotionally will be fulfilled. In fact, that should not be a question. It also communicates that we need to also operate with emotional maturity. Oftentimes, when we see the Jack of Hearts, it's because of emotional immaturity. This is saying respond and react with emotional maturity. With the Seven of Spades, it is communicating that we are going to have some things that bind us, that hold us, that sort of keep us away from where we're trying to go. Normally, these are personal things that we are doing that's preventing us from getting towards or getting to what we want. So we have to ask ourselves the question, how do I get out of my own way? Is it receiving help? Is it getting assistance? Is it letting go? What is it, in fact? So it's very important to understand that we have to do that. But it also is important that we do spiritual work, like a cleansing. Whenever we have the Seven of Spades, I always say when this card come up, do a cleansing to remove anything that you may be doing to hold you back, and anything that may have been done to hold you back. So Seven of Spades says that. Le Diable Rouge confirms it. Confirms, do the spiritual work. Spiritual work will, in fact, be the I'm cleaning up right now. Yes, indeed, Icy and Sarah. So this immediately is communicating that we have to do some work. I saw it before I sat down. This is not the work that I'm going to be doing tonight. I'm doing spiritual work tonight, but I already knew that I had to do spiritual work for next week. I saw it last week. And I was like, okay, I think it's over the weekend. I was like, okay, let me get this done. And it has to be done. And it will be done, in fact. Okay. Earth signs. Earth signs, you get the Two of Spades, the Four of Hearts, the Queen of Spades, a lot of spiritual work, everybody, and the Jack of Diamonds. Le Sapin, the la cuir, la main, et le poussin. And so when we get these cards here, the Two of Spades, the Four of Hearts, the Queen of Spades, and the Jack of Diamonds, it says Earth signs. Next week, do not be surprised or shocked if you come into spaces where you are finding opposition and deliberate and intentional opposition. people, spaces that are literally getting in your way. This is where you are going to actually um, identify who and or what that snake is. And now it is your decision. Do you chop off the head? Or do you twirl it around and play rodeo? Whatever it is that you want to do, but it's super important for you to understand that is that is something that you're going to be approached with. These issues are going to come in the spaces of your passions, things that you want to do, not things that you need to do, but your passions, things that make you feel good, things that make you feel alive. This also communicates, do not lose your motivation when you are presented with these setbacks or these delays or these holdups. We then um we then have the Queen of Spades, which says, whomever does you wrong will be whoever your wrongdoers are, or whomever is cheating you unjustly, you will have justice for them, or for that particular situation. It communicates that, for example, if you got a court case situation coming up next week, you're going to be good because this card says you will. But it also communicates that you only by your hands can provide the harmony that you are looking for. So you got to handle this snake. Whether you do it spiritually or mundanely and or both, it has to be done. Last but not least, you need to make sure that you recognize the value of the blessings you have and not get so distracted by what you want. So stay motivated with what you want, but don't dismiss what you have. If you can give appreciation and gratitude for the blessings you have today, it will magnify the blessings that you have tomorrow. Okay? Where are my air signs? Air signs, where are you? Air signs, where are you? All right, air signs. We get the 4 of clubs, the 10 of hearts, the jack of spades, and the 5 of clubs. This is communicating, air signs, that next week you really got to start getting to the source of your blessings, whatever that is, feed it. The sort of your messes, whatever that is, eliminate it. When you can start feeding the source of your blessings, excuse me, one moment, please. Okay, that was my first client, but I just told her I'm going to finish this and I'll call her right back. So, air signs, you got to get to the source of your blessings. Once you can nurture those, it's going to magnify everything else. When you get to the source of your message and eliminate the source, it will eliminate the side effects of everything else. Okay. I need to take pictures of my fire sign reading so I don't forget it once I begin my readings today. Okay. Once you have done this, understand that you are also going to be looking into a space of long-term commitment. Once you have found the sources of these things, commit to those things long term so that you have a long term result, longevity in your blessings, longevity in the removal of your enemies or the removal of your issues and problems. All right. It also speaks to the space of unifying, coming together, moving together as one. Once you get to the source of these things, really seeing what you need to join with to become larger. Thank you so very much, Deanna. I greatly appreciate your super sticker, your super sticker. Thank you so very much. We then see that with that commitment, we cannot be impulsive. I mean, beyond that commitment, we cannot be impulsive. So again, it's talking about, think about the long term. What is What actions, who am I combining with, joining with, unifying with today? And how will that affect me a year from now, 6 months from now, 5 months from now, 3 months from now, 3 weeks from now? But it's not about the now. It is absolutely about the future, the long term future. Last but not least, understanding that our decisions and the things that we are committing ourselves to, and also asking yourself, who is worth and is this worth committing to? Commit to things that you know are going to provide you a return on your investment, not what you think. If you put ice in water, it will become cold. If you want to invest in a cold drink, that's what you do. But don't invest in in the idea of something that has no proof. That has no proof. Okay. So the Five of Clubs just says, work smart, not hard. So when we're looking at that Jack of spades, again, let me take my time and comb through this. The Four of Clubs, let me in fact know in fact the source before I make my move. Okay? All right? All right. It's okay, Z Mac. Just go back and go back and rewatch it. And water signs, where are we? It's so funny. All of us have a Jack. Water signs. You have the Jack of Clubs, the Nine of Spades, the Seven of Diamonds, and the Six of Diamonds. So, water signs, it communicates next week. There may be some fogginess. There may be some things that you don't understand. The key to operating next week is to be understanding. Okay. The key is to be understanding. When you have the Nine of Spades coming up immediately behind that, it really is saying that the lack of understanding is where your suffering is. So we do not suffer if we know the source of that suffering. So we know that the lack of understanding is the problem. Let us be understanding. Let us get understanding. Let's move in understanding. If there is no understanding, that's where the suffering is made. We then have the Seven of Diamonds, which says your answer, your prayers, your petitions, your hopes will in fact come into fruition, but receive those blessings in their totality. Don't receive them in fear. Don't make up something that is not actually there or present, and that's keeping you from enjoying what you have and what is. So it's super important to know to receive your blessings in its totality, okay, so that you do not miss those blessings in this moment. The Six of Diamonds is the last for you, which literally communicates that there is goodness on your road, there's sweetness on your roads, there's blessings on your roads. The things that you're looking for will be on your roads, the materialistic things. So honestly, you have a really good end of the, well, not even the end of it, a good week ahead if you can just move with understanding. If you can move with understanding, okay? So, that being said, and I'm gonna just tell you too, the thing about understanding is also organization, is what I just heard. Organization. Organization is gonna be a big thing. Having to be organized next week is going to be a good thing as well. Water signs. So everybody, I thank you so very much. I do apologize for having to rush through these. Thank you so very much, Tristan, for being here. I hope that you're back more often. And I thank everyone else for being here as well. I will see you all this evening for the March community service for the Loa. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And yes, et voilà, voilà. Merci beaucoup et bonne journée.